Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a very interesting edition of the Bluegrass uh, Xfinity series here on VSRN. Sort of a last-minute thing, trying to get this thing in for these guys. Apparently, didn't have a broadcast set up, so we're going to come back through and we're going to do a broadcast of the replay. So it's not going to be as at the normal quality. There'll be some things that will be a little odd, but we're going to do the best we can to give y'all what you guys want and deserve, which is a good broadcast. And I'm obviously, I mentioned it a few times, not going to be broadcasting Tuesday nights anymore, as we'll be doing the MPI Xfinity series. So let's go ahead and get into the grid as we're ready to roll here, and we'll see. Where everybody's gonna start this race, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. 131 laps here. David Farmer on the front row here at New Hampshire. Jim Ott gonna start in the second position. Starting in third is gonna be Andy Kurtz with Jimmy Allen in the fourth position. Daniel Cunningham starting in fifth. Alex Penn in sixth. Sean Kostritza in seventh. Nicholas Hasia in eighth position. Michael Kostick in ninth. Tony Iverson in 10th. 11th is Brian Terry, Jason Iracing in 12th. 13th, Justin Ray, Bobby Anderson in 14th position. James Silvers in 15th. Scott Fritz in 16th. Lucas Lyons in 17th. Michael Cole 18th. And that rounds out your field here tonight. All right, well, don't have any points. Like I said, I'm not broadcasting the series anymore, so it's going to be pretty bare bones, but we'll talk a little bit about what to expect tonight, as we do have this is the first race of the playoffs here at New Hampshire. And so everybody getting ready to go. You'll see the playoff banners here once we get everything rolling. But yeah, playoff banners, be watching out for those guys. Those are going to be the playoff drivers. But New Hampshire, a flat track, 1 miler, very interesting race. Should be fun to see how these Xfinity cars go around this track. I'm Eddie Smith, by the way. Like I said, going to be a little odd. Things are not going to be perfect. They're not going to work the way they're supposed to. But just to give you guys a broadcast, something that you can go back and watch, trying to get that going for y'all. So David Farmer going to be out front. Jim Ott in that second position in the 4 car. Then you've got a couple drivers. I mean, right there, David Farmer set a massive, ridiculous lap time. So we'll see if anybody's able to do anything with that. But green flag is out here. I'll give you the ticker. We'll see if it actually updates. Like I said, this is a replay file, so we'll give you the best that I got. But so far, on the start, 3 wide all the way towards the back. David Farmer side by side with Jim Ott for that second position. As you see that top side sort of being a little bit stronger here early, as Jim Ott able to get a nice run off the corner. He's going to lead the first lap here in this race. But going down into the corner, David Farmer is going to drive really deep into the corner and do a slide job on Jim Ott. Jim has to check up just a little bit and able to get that thing, trying to do a little bit of a crossover, not quite able to do it, as here comes, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is it's gonna be a little bit tough. I'll try to keep tabs of everything, but trying to find, because all I can see is the finishing order on my screen, so it's going to be a little odd. But you see Jimmy Allen there, the 99 on the bottom, with the 88 of Andy Kurtz on the outside, battling side by side. This is one of those tracks that you really want to be single file, because you really need to use the whole track. We're going forward with Jimmy Allen. You see you want to drive in on the bottom, let it push up a little bit in the middle, and then get a drive off really straight down these long straightaways. They'll be kind of surprising how long they'll be. See Jimmy Allen, the 88 of Andy Kurtz, has to check up just a tad, and that gave him a nice little run through the middle of the corner. And Jimmy Allen going to be able to take over that position. Up front, it is David Farmer in that 84 machine. He is starting to pull away a little bit as Jimmy Allen really putting the pressure here. He's going to take over that second spot. So really impressive by Jimmy Allen. He's showing a lot of strength early. Now that is definitely his MO. He has been the type of guy to fire off early. You know, if you're going to have a late race restart, give me Jimmy Allen all day, every day. You see Jim Ott, though, fighting back there on the inside a little bit, as we've got a nice little train of cars from second all the way back to sixth. Everybody doing a great job. You see Jimmy Allen really drives deep in the corner, and Jim Ott kind of falls back into the clutches of Andy Kurtz. And if you look at the ticker, you'll notice that it's all messed up. The running order is all wrong. I'm not getting fed any data from Iracing, so it has no idea where any of the cars are. This is going to be, a spoiler alert, going to be the finishing position. We might throw that away just since it doesn't matter. So if you wonder where the ticker is, you'll know that it really doesn't matter. It's spoiler alert is what it is. We'll go on board with Daniel Cunningham here as he now to the back bumper of Andy Kurtz. You saw him kind of run up on these guys. They were side by side. Jim Ott had to fall back from Jimmy Allen after he had to check them just a little bit. But the battle for the lead is picking up here. As you can see, everybody's starting to kind of gain some ground here on David Farmer. You can hear just how bogged down these cars get when they get down to, as Jimmy Allen's going to get to the wall a little bit. Just a tap. Nothing too bad, but he's able to keep that thing rolling and keep moving forward, trying to get to David Farmer there. Right now, the battle is going to be for second place. You see Jim Ott starting to put the pressure back on. It seems like it takes a while to kind of get your momentum back here at New Hampshire, just going so slow that I'd be interested to know if anybody decides to start shifting at some point, but we'll have to pay attention to that. Right now, David Farmer has led every lap. Bobby Allen, or as Brian Terry, or Jimmy Allen, excuse me, has kind of started to run down Farmer again, but kind of set himself apart from this little pack back here, Jim Ott and Andy Kurtz. Can't really tell who that is right back behind him. Oh, it's Alex Penn in that 30 machine. He's right on the back bumper of these fellas. New Hampshire's always a fun track. I like how it races. It can be difficult to pass. You know, you really have to take some liberties to make these passes. But man, it does put on some pretty good racing. They have a battle for the lead here in just a second. Jimmy Allen has now gotten to the back bumper of David Farmer. Let's see what he can do with it. Battle for the lead on lap 12. 12 of 130. Oh my goodness, look at Jimmy has got that. He lays the gas pedal down, and man, it gets really, really loose. Just really using the throttle to turn the car from the middle off. You see just how much throttle you can get to rotate that car. So you can definitely smell blood. He wanted to get on the gas, felt the back end get a little bit loose. Actually has to lift just a tad and not able to make that move. I don't know who was the biggest movers in these races. Like I said, all the data that we get fed on our timing is live. Oh, Jimmy Allen's going to get loose there off the corner. But yeah, all the data that we get is being fed from Iracing live. And so we're missing a few things like how many laps, but I'll keep you up to tabs on that. I know it says Xfinity finish, and like I said, the ticker, if I showed it, would be a finishing order. Jimmy Allen had gotten to the back bumper. Farmer just couldn't find a way around him. It seemed like he really needed to get out to the outside, but Farmer doing a great job of making sure that can't happen. Right now, though, I mean, being the first round of the playoffs, you just think, you know, hey, if you're Jimmy Allen, I don't really have to push this hard, hit this early. I just need to be there at the end and get as many points as I can. Now, there is a stage break. The stage break is at lap 60, so you know, they will get a chance to go down and get some tires, but they should be able to run quite a bit on a set of tires. Tracks like this don't really wear the tires out that much. They will matter. You'll want to come down and get tires, but it won't be massive like it is at some places. But as a complete lap 17, David Farmer still in the lead. It's Jimmy Allen and Jim Ott there in the third position. I believe that's Daniel Cunningham back in the fourth position. It shows fifth, but he is in fourth right now. Right behind him is going to be Andy Kurtz. And then Alex Penn right behind him now. I don't know who that is. I believe Michael Kostick. I figure out who that blue car. I think it's a 46 of Sean Kastritza there in the. I'm not really sure what position he's in. It's actually more difficult than I thought. The reliance on all the data that we have and not having it, it's pretty rough. But like Sean is settling in right around the 7th position or so, 7th or 8th position. Up front, Jimmy Allen, though, continues to be an attacker here. David Farmer not able to pull away. Seemed like he was extremely fast, just not able to pull away just yet. We'll see who's. I mean, look how hard Jimmy Allen drives into the corner, and it seems to be working pretty well, honestly. And he's doing a good job down the front straightaway. Might have a look here. Gonna take it down to the inside. Can he make it sink and go all the way to the apron? You think, oh, no, something's wrong. No, people do that here at New Hampshire. The track is so flat. You can use that apron to help turn the car in the middle just a little bit, but did not work out for Jimmy Allen. Seen people do that in the trucks. I don't know if it can really do that in the Xfinity, but that opens the door for Jim Ott down to the inside. I'm sure Jimmy can gas it up on the outside and maintain that second position. Off the corner, though, side by side for second, Jim Ott, Jimmy Allen, and Jimmy Allen able to hold on to that spot. So you see the problem. I mean, Jimmy only had the ability to go down to the bottom, and when he did that, it killed his momentum off the corner, and he almost lost the position there to the number 4, Jim Ott. Jimmy Allen peeking out, maybe trying to maybe make a move here, but I think once the tires start to wear out, I'm interested to see just how passes will be made as everybody kind of running single file. We'll see if Jim Ott can find a way around him. It's going to be difficult. Could have given him a little bump into the corner. Jimmy not phased one bit. Still nose to tail. I mean, these flat tracks, a lot of times you think they're going to be terrible races. And I think you think back to the mid-90s where Loudon really didn't give a whole bunch of, amazing racing. Jeff Burton leading every single lap, going green to green, or green to checker, excuse me. Kind of put bad taste in folks' mouth, but on iRacing in general, I think it does a really good job. Jim Ott, though, gets a run down the front straightaway, not quite able to get inside of him, but he's going to dive it down in there. He's going to do the slide job here on Jimmy Allen. But Jimmy really didn't try to fight that much, and he's able to facilitate that pass and not spend a whole lot of time fighting with him. And you get side-by-side battling, David Farmer, he'd smile ear to ear as he'd start to continue to drive away. But right now, I mean, he's out into a pretty nice lead. You see there that gap. Back to second place. These two right here fighting to stick with the 84 machine. You got Daniel Cunningham back in the 4th position. He is maintaining as well. Alex Penn kind of lost sight of Daniel Cunningham, and now he is he's got Andy Kurtz to contend with. It looks like Alex Penn has passed Andy Kurtz at some point. But a lot of single file racing. Still got a few laps here. We're on lap 26, so we got quite a bit until we get to the caution flags. You know, what's interesting about this is I don't really know what folks are expecting, but what'll be nice is during cautions, we can just skip right through the caution and go right back to green flag racing. Watching to see, it looks like Alex Penn's got this position, but Michael Kostick all over the back bumper. Sean Kostritza, we'll see if he can make a pass. We'll watch here just for a few laps to see how difficult it is to make a move here. He's running about a lane up, and Sean really driving hard into the corner and diamonding off. That's my preferred line. You see Kostick doing something a little bit different, driving on the top side, or about a lane up, and then driving off the bottom. He actually does sort of the diamond here in 1 and 2. So trying some different things to try to find a way to get some clean air on the nose of that car. You see how the cars kind of dip a little bit as the banking just a tad bit different there, right on the bottom in the middle, which is why the bottom is so difficult to really do anything with. Kostick not quite able to do anything as we go up front, and Jim Ott starting to pull away a little bit from Jimmy Allen. And you'll notice that I'm going to swap back and forth for a little bit between different drivers, as I have to try to memorize where they are on the track because I have no timing and score, and just want to remind y'all of that. So I'm trying to go on feel of where they are, and luckily New Hampshire kind of gives you that type of racing, but I can click on the name and it may not be where they are. I have no idea. So we'll check on some drivers. Tony Iverson, have no idea what position he's in. I can tell you where he finished, but man, look at right up there. I want to see that race. Lucas Lyon in that 25 machine. He's looking down to the inside. Where the hell did he come from? He's out the 33 of James Silvers. I don't know if these guys have pitted or what exactly has happened. Yeah, you do see some guys coming down pit road. Alex Penn. So those must be lap down cars as they open up the pit cycle here on lap 31, halfway to the stage. See David Farmer on pit road. You see his pit crew. Thanks to David for the replay. You can actually get to see some pit crews this time. He's going to come out of pit road with a slight advantage over Jimmy Allen. Actually could come off the pit road, be racing Jim Ott, who looks like to have pitted a few laps before that. looks like this is the battle for the lead still. Without timing and scoring, I don't know who's actually in the lead, so we'll just we'll deal with it. David Farmer and Jimmy Allen come out with the best little group there, and I wonder if Jim Ott still may have stayed on the track, so he may be continuing to be in the lead there as they really pull it away from him. So I don't think he's come down pit road just yet. So likely he is the leader. I'll be doggone. I think, well, I reset ATVO, and I think I might have the timing and scoring. Look at there. Okay. Well, I apologize. Looks like I needed to start ATVO after the session change, because it looks like right now everything is solid. So do apologize about that. I honestly can't. I don't think I've ever done a broadcast from a replay. So live and you learn. But Jim Ott's still out on old tires. You can see as Alex Penn now goes around him on the outside. So Jim Ott staying out a little bit longer. Trying to push this to the end. Now it does say finish, but we are under green. Give you the automatic, the manual one. Now we can actually see some battles on the track as David Farmer gets passed by Jimmy Allen. So Jimmy Allen able to get around David Farmer, which haven't really seen. But they are back in the 8th and 9th position. Jimmy Allen up to 8th. They have come down pit road, so still waiting on everybody else to come down pit road. Jim Ott continues to stay out. Daniel Cunningham as well. So interesting to see how these strategies play out. Checking in on Tony Iverson, who is running in the 4th position here, right behind Andy Kurtz. Yeah, Tony's doing a great job. He's getting up in here and going to get to the inside of Andy Kurtz. I'm not really sure if Andy there's a problem or if he's trying to save fuel. Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like Tony Iverson just goes up there and passes. As here comes Andy Kurtz down on pit road. Coming down to take tires and fuels, like Daniel Cunningham gives up the lead and does as well. That gives Tony Iverson the lead. Nope. believe he's made his pit stop just yet, but we'll see. We've got a 12-second lead over Jimmy Allen, and here he comes. Tony Iverson down on pit road to make his stop here before the stage at lap 60, and we got our final pit stop on lap 41. So Jimmy Allen will assume the lead with David Farmer not too far behind him. Michael Cole here in the 67. I'm not sure if he's pitted yet either, so but he is in the 3rd position now. Here comes Michael Cole. Looks like he is making a commitment down to pit road here. So he will give up that 3rd position, and Alex Penn will drive right on by him. But back up front, still a really nice little battle as David Farmer continues to keep the pressure on Jimmy Allen, even though he's gotten around him. Jimmy, like I said, I mean, he is unbelievable on new tires. I've seen this guy. He's a wheel man. Probably one of my favorite drivers, you know. And a very limited time over here at Bluegrass, but I remember him almost every race just because he gets up there and he's a wheel man. But he has been known to start to fall off a tad bit during the end of these runs after he pushes so hard early. We'll see if he can fix that up for this particular race. Go back here a little bit further back. Tony Iverson comes out of pit road. He's got Justin Ray right in front of him, or behind him. As Justin, this is a battle for your 12th and 13th position. Or 11th and 12th. You got Andy Kurtz right in front of him. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Andy Kurtz. It seems to be off the pace. He may have some damage. I'm not real sure. I know Andy is a pretty fast driver, but seems to be struggling at something. As he completely disappears, then comes back. And Justin Ray down to the inside of the 88. Andy Kurtz drops another spot here on lap 45. About 15 laps to the stage up front. Not up front. Now up front, David Farmer to the back bumper of Jimmy Allen, starting to put even more pressure as we get down to the stage. Those stage points going to mean everything, and being able to get the stage win, get maximum points, that's what you want to do. So David Farmer looks to be the driver to beat. Going to get to the back bumper. Jimmy Allen really having to let that thing roll through the corner. Still maintaining the lead, but David really on attack here. I am interested to see how he's going to complete this pass, as we seem to be difficult to make passes if you're pretty equal. So we'll see. We'll watch here as we can see if how David Farmer is going to set this pass up. It's going to take a couple, and you can hear the shifting that these guys are doing, but it's going to take a couple laps to really set this pass up, unless Jimmy has a mistake. And then exactly what happened. Y'all gonna think I watched this beforehand, but I promise you I have yet to see this. I didn't want to watch it and know what's gonna happen. But as soon as I say that, I didn't know you could broadcast curse somebody from the future. But yeah, Jimmy Allen gets a little bit loose there off the corner and gets into the wall. And that's exactly what David Farmer needed to get that top spot. But David Farmer, Jimmy Allen, Alex Penn, James Silvers, Jim Ott is your top 5. Not really sure what happened to Jim Ott. Maybe nothing. He might just be stayed out that long, but it seemed like something happened to that Ford machine. That's okay. He's still in the top 5. That's good. And he'll get a stage break here coming up at about 9 laps to go. So David Farmer starting to pull away a little bit as we kind of zero in here on this top 5 battle. Sean Kostritza in that 6th position behind Jim Ott. Under fire from somebody here. I don't know who that is. It's a lap car, the 67 of Michael Cole, I believe. That is who it is. So right in front of him, though, Sean Kostritza, that Michael Cole is a lap down, along with Bobby Anderson and Brian Terry. Scott Fritz, he did not. Having some sort of issue, I'm not really sure, but he's coming out on track now. So Scott Fritz has been out of the race majority of the race. Here comes Sean Kostritza down to the inside of the 4. Got a little bit loose off the corner, but still going to have sort of that nose out in front. He's going to drive it down in there, put the pressure on Jim, see if Jim can hold him off. See Sean using that apron to try to get a little bit more exit speed. Not quite able to do it there. John back down to the bottom on the apron. Actually gets a great drive off there as Jim Ott has to check up and move Sean Kostritza up into the 5th position. So it seems like these cars are a handful to drive, especially when you're trying to hold somebody off. It seems like if you're in attack mode, you're in a good position. But if you're trying to hold somebody off, it seems to be pretty stressful there. As Sean is now inside the top 5. And another battle going on up here. Alex Penn has really been putting pressure on James Silvers. I think James may have pitted a little bit earlier, and so he's on the back end of a run now with his tires. Alex seems to have a little bit fresher tires here, looking down to the inside, trying to get a run down there straightaway. You know, versus the next-gen car, the Xfinity car can be a little bit nervous when you're trying to shift. You know, a lot of the guys that are loose here, that's because they're driving off the corner in 3rd gear. This car can be pretty sketchy when you go down to the corner and you hit that downshift lever. You got to make sure that you're not doing anything crazy, because it'll kick that car sideways. Not like the next gen with sequential. These gearboxes are not as nice to you. 4 laps to go in the stage. David Farmer still with the lead as we continue to watch this battle for 3rd place. David Farmer's got about a 9/10 of a second lead over Jimmy Allen in 2nd position. Then it's 6.6 seconds back to James Silvers in 3rd and Alex Penn, who we're watching on screen here. We'll see if anybody can get down or make up any spots here late. Everybody pretty much running single file at the moment, so we'll continue watching this battle as we are on lap 57 going to lap 58 and stage break at lap 60. Alex is right there, but just can't get position on the 33. I mean, you definitely could tell he's faster, and if he could drive through the car, he would. If there were ghost cars, he would definitely drive through them and just keep going. You see, he's really having to search around and find a way to go to the inside. Well, he tries to gas it up there. He saw the opportunity, just couldn't quite do it. But now he's going to get a nice run here as pit road is closed for the stage. As don't forget, we go to the end of lap 60. So Alex Penn able to take that third position. That's big for your playoff points. James Silver's not in the playoffs, but Alex Penn get that extra position. That's points that he would otherwise not have had. The white flag is out for David Farmer here in the stage 1. I know these guys are ready to reset, get down in there. I know Jimmy Allen is for sure. Get down, get some tires, and get everything lined back up. But coming off a turn 4, David Farmer is going to win the first stage of the playoffs here in the Xfinity Series. Yellow flag is out. Pace car comes out. And Andy Kurtz barely avoids going a lap down there, as you see. Comes out right in front of the pace car. All right, we'll watch as they come off of pit road, see who wins the battle off pit road, then we'll scoot forward to the restart. Way we don't have to sit under yellow. So if they had a bunch of yellow flags the other night, it'll be nice because we won't have to see them. Watch and see if David Farmer is able to win the battle off pit road. You see the 33 coming. Everybody trying to jockey for position off pit road, and David Farmer wins the battle. Let's skip ahead to the restart. Restart here on lap 65. Got 131 laps in this thing, so time is running out. Right now, David Farmer, Jimmy Allen, James Silvers is your top 3. Alex Penn, Jim Ott is the top 5. No surprise to see Jimmy Allen aggressive here on the restart. He is going to put the pressure on David Farmer again. Looking kind of poking that nose out, not quite there to be able to make a dive down to the inside, but he is definitely all over the back bumper. We've seen that time and time again. David Farmer has been able to hold the lead, but seemed to be able to save his tires a little bit. Jimmy Allen may or may not get around him, but I mean, we've just seen Jimmy kind of have an issue maintaining those tires. So you wonder why, you wonder what goes through a guy's head where you don't just think, maybe I should just back off a little bit, save a little bit. I got the speed, but I know I keep getting beat on these long runs, and try to take care of these tires, especially early in, in the first 10 to 15 laps. But Jimmy is definitely all gas, no brakes. But Alex Penn has also kind of turned it up a notch here. He's joining this top 3 battle. Largely single file for most of the race, most of the field, but Sean Kostritza down on the bottom trying to make that bottom side work. You don't see too many people going down there. Here's Sean. He's not really, as David Farmer has taken over the lead here. Just missed it, but I can't go back, but because if I go back to the replay, I'll never get back to where we are, considering, you know, calling this live. Because if I try to skip forward to live, it will go all the way to the end of the race. So we don't want to do that. So I can't go back and really show you guys anything. So if a caution comes out, I won't be able to show it because I won't be able to get back to where we would consider live. So hopefully we'll catch any cautions. And if we miss any passes or anything, we'll just have to use our imagination. But up front, lead changes hands. David Farmer back out front. Sean still trying to make something work, but Jim Ott able to maintain that fifth position. As here comes Tony Iverson. Tony seems to be kind of taken to this track. He's definitely fast, but I mean, I've seen him be able to drive around cars, and he's been extremely racy tonight. So Tony Iverson looking good here. Not a playoff driver, but still doing a great job. You see all the way back through the field, all single file, as David Farmer continues to lead here. Jimmy Allen not letting him get away just yet, but you can see Jimmy. Jimmy is really getting with it. The car's sideways. I mean, we got a long way to go in this race, and he is still sideways, but he's going 100% every single lap. He ain't messing around. A lap car up in front of this little battle. Not really sure. Let's see who that is. I think it's Bobby Anderson, and it is. Bobby Anderson going to stay up the track in that 11. Just let these guys go. Well off the pace. Not sure if he's got some damage to that machine, but everybody able to safely get around him. He stays high. Battle between Justin Ray and Lucas Lyon. Ooh, they make a little bit of contact there. Lucas trying to hang on that right rear. Justin's going to get a benefit of the lap car kind of throwing a pick for him. But Lucas actually gets a good drive down the straightaway. He looks down to the inside. But not quite able to get back to him, so Justin Ray will take over the 11th position. Set his sights on Michael Kostick. That 8 machine not been as fast here tonight as I thought. I would expect him to be running in the 10th position. I always expect him to be up near the top 5, but he definitely has a laid-back approach to iRacing and his races. He tries to just be patient, take his time. So there's plenty of laps left. He's in the 10th position now. We've got quite a few laps, a little under 60 laps to go now. And I believe from the point standings, as we'll go check Jim Ott and Alex Penn here. I mean, Alex Penn is your points leader in that 30 machine. Now, I don't know the playoff standings; they're not available to me to look at. But Alex Penn, David Farmer, Daniel Cunningham, James Allen, which I would assume is Jimmy Allen, but I don't know that. But I would imagine that is. It's got James Allen listed on the point standing page, but yeah, James Allen in 4th and Michael Kostick there in 5th. So Jim Ott in 6th, Justin Ray 7th, Tony Iverson 8th, Lucas Lyon in 9th, Nicholas Hasia is your top 10 in points. And This is race number 1 of out of 2 of the first round. So this is going to be the most important race for this round of the playoffs, because next week they have Talladega, and that will really that'll be a wild card for sure. So, you know, if you're David Farmer, Jimmy Allen, you're doing a great job right now, doing exactly what you need to do, and that way you don't have to deal with Talladega, and whoever wins this race won't have to worry about it at all. So it's definitely what you're aiming to do here tonight. Jim Ott, though, down to the inside of Alex Penn. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Just not able to do anything with that top side. Just so difficult to make any moves here. Yeah, the rest of the schedule is Bristol. The second round is Bristol and the Charlotte Roval, which is a pretty fun round, and then round 3 is Darlington and Martinsville, and then they'll crown a champion in Homestead. But this round definitely feels like, I mean, depends on how you feel about the Charlotte Roval. Somebody like Michael Kostick, you know, would like to be able to get to the next round, have the Charlotte Roval. I think he'll be the man to beat there, or at least up front, battling for the win. He just needs to maintain until he gets there, make sure he makes it to that next round. And Jim Ott, Alex Penn really battling here for this 4th position. It is nonstop. Jim just cannot find a way around him. As we roll into lap 83 of 131, so laps are clicking off pretty quickly. No cautions other than the stage break at this point. Look at this cluster of cars. I mean, it starts with Sean Kostritza, goes to Daniel Cunningham, the 44, Jason Iracing, Michael Kostick, Justin Ray. And you see just the line of cars. They're all running the optimal line. And if you move out of that, you're not really, it's just slower. As Jim Ott does now get position on the inside of Alex Penn. We'll see if he can make it work now. That just brings Tony Iverson into the fold. You see Jim trying to get that bottom side to work, but not quite able to do it just yet. And Jim Ott going to take over that 4th position. See the patience that it takes to make that happen. Jim actually going to try to cover the bottom. He's always going to open the door for the outside. Alex Penn's going to get to the outside of Jim Ott, but Jim's going to drive down deep into the corner to make sure he can slide up in front of that 30. Don't want to give the outside away. Here comes Alex Penn. He kind of covers, goes to the inside and cuts off Tony Iverson. Now back to the inside goes Alex Penn. Jim Ott able to use the run from the top side to make it happen. Tony Iverson gives Alex a little bit of shove there, gets him a little bit loose, but Tony backs out of it to make sure that didn't cause a wreck. Alex able to hang on to it. But we got a battle for the lead, as here comes Jimmy Allen using that apron, trying to make something happen, as David Farmer hasn't been able to pull away from him after passing him for the lead. Yeah, look at Jimmy using that apron to help that car rotate in the middle of the corner, and it seems to be working. You just see he doesn't have the drive off that he needs. He's good in the entry and the middle, but the exit, that top side, just too strong. So I think, you know, David Farmer, it looks like he's under attack, but as long as he's got that exit, it's going to be really tough for Jimmy Allen. Now, Jimmy does a great job right there. We'll see if he can hang on to this run. He is. He's right neck and neck with the 84. The 84 just and Jimmy Allen drives off the screen. He drove so deep into that corner. So Jimmy Allen back out front in that 99 machine here on lap 87 going into 88. This is 26 laps all in this set of tires. And we saw guys go to about 41, so I expected to see, obviously, one more pit stop soon, but when will that be? That'll be the question. Do you come in early, try to put the pressure on everybody? Or if you come in early, do you take the risk of there being a caution and you ended up losing track position? Do you run long and take the chance of somebody undercutting you, losing a couple spots, and not being able to pass them back? That's a lot to think about here for this last pit stop. But Jimmy Allen doing a great job. They're both running 32.3s. We'll see us across the line. Jimmy Allen about a tenth and a half faster that lap, so he just really laid one down there. It looks like caution is out on the no, okay. I thought they were slowing down, but it just looks like they're creeping through the middle of the corner. I thought the caution was out. Now back here, Tony Iverson putting some pressure here on Alex Penn. Alex fought hard to keep Jim Ott behind him, but now it's really struggling as now it's Tony's turn. It's a nice run through the middle, but you can just see it has to be too ginger on the throttle to really use the run that he was going to have. Oh my goodness, going to drive really deep into the corner. I don't know if Alex had some sort of issue or if Tony just sent it, but Alex going to really hold him down there, laying on his right side and able to get the run off the corner. I think Tony really tried a Hail Mary there and it just did not work out. Just see maybe the downside of New Hampshire is just that right there, where it's just so dang hard to pass. He gets right to the back bumper again. Maybe try to get him a little bit loose if he can. On board with Tony Iverson here. Tony really good through the middle on throttle. Once he gets on throttle, that car just wants to go, and Alex looks like he is dancing around the rear end, just not having a good time, especially from what I can tell, it doesn't look like Tony is really shifting. We'll see if he goes down to the corner. If he is, let's see. He's not shifting, but you can see that Alex Penn is trying to get the RPMs up and get a better drive off, but you can see the stability problems with that. But that does allow Tony Iverson to roll the center just a little bit better because he's not, the engine braking is not being an issue. But Tony Iverson coming down pit road along with Jimmy Allen, who gives up the lead here. This will be the last pit stop here on lap 94. Jimmy Allen coming down to make his final stop of the night. And we'll see where everybody ends up. That gives the lead over to David Farmer, who has a 3.4-second lead over James Silvers. When does he come down pit road? Looks like he is on his way now. Don't want to let Jimmy Allen get too many laps with those fresh tires. Last lap, they are definitely over a second and a half faster on brand new tires. So I said earlier, I don't know how big a deal tires are, but they are definitely a good bit important there in a second and a half. Pit crew gonna start servicing the car. 4 tires of fuel here for David Farmer. And we'll see if he's able to hold on to second place. He can come out in front of Jimmy Allen. Looks like Jimmy Allen, though, coming around here right as David Farmer comes out of pit road. So Jimmy's going to have a nice lead here. Start this slash run. But right now, James Silvers is in the lead, has yet to come down and make his stop. Jimmy Allen and David Farmer were able to stay out in front of the leader. So that is, man, that's such a great deal for them as they're able to, if a caution were to come out right now, they would be in good shape and not lose a lap. But here comes James Silvers, Alex Penn, both giving up first and second, which will give the lead over to Justin Ray here in the 38 machine. Still needs to make their final pit stop. Jimmy Allen has a 2.6 second lead over David Farmer just by pitting 1 lap sooner. I mean, a second and a half faster, it makes sense. Just that 1 lap made that big a difference. Alex Penn blends out in the 11th position. There's still folks who have yet to make their stop. Alex going to take liberty with those new tires. You can see as soon as he grabs that shifter and goes down to the bottom, it really just yanks the car through the middle. Is always a little bit nervous there off the corner, shaking the car back and forth. You can see him. You can see how, you know, new tires, you can just drop through the middle so much faster on the bottom. You don't see that happening. It is, oh my goodness, the 28 gets a little bit loose there as they go around a lap car. Alex being aggressive here, knowing that he got kind of jumped over by these guys. Trying to be aggressive and get these spots back. Dive it down into the inside of the 08 of Daniel Cunningham. Maybe even get to the outside of Sean Constreetza there. Yeah, he's going to be able to do that. So, great move. Out front, though, it's Lucas Lyons as Justin Ray has come down pit road and made his final stop. So still waiting on Lucas to do that. He's got a 2.7 second lead over Jimmy Allen. He would love to see a caution right now. That would definitely help his that would help him out a ton. It's like he's going to try to stretch this thing as long as he can. Which, you know, is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, if you don't pit early, you want to pit extremely late at a track that's hard to pass like this, because you want to have a massive tire advantage so you can make those passes, similar to what Alex Penn has been able to do. And he's up to the 6th position now after being able to pass that whole gaggle of cars. He was in 12th or 11th a few laps ago, is now up to 6th. Lucas comes down pit road along with the 11 of Bobby Anderson as they come down to make their final pit stop. 103 laps, and they have yet to see a caution other than the stage break. That's really, really impressive. So Jimmy Allen out front. However, David Farmer has been running him down. He's got it down to a 1.3 second lead, as Jimmy Allen about 4/10 slower than David Farmer that last run. And you see the 67 going to kind of move over of Michael Cole for David Farmer. So now David continues to put pressure. So I think maybe David had a little extra there in the tank he wasn't showing, but he is definitely showing it now as he is running down Jimmy Allen. He was 3/10 faster that lap. Now down to a second. With less than 30 laps to go, there's really no point in saving tires. So I think we're seeing the best that David Farmer has to offer right now, as he is still 2/10 faster that last lap than Jimmy Allen. You can see just the difference able to really drive it in a lot deeper, and he's having the same or better runoff. But he's making up so much time on entry in these corners. These two right here have a 6-second lead over third place James Silver. So this is definitely the battle for what will be the win if we stay green. And it looks like David Farmer, man, just reached, I mean, he was 0.6 of a second faster that last lap. So just one lap difference. Jimmy Allen came down earlier, and I think David Farmer was just, I don't know, must have been messing around, because here he goes to the outside of Jimmy Allen, and Jimmy can't do anything about it. Jimmy's going to drive deep in the corner, try to slide up and stop it, but just not able to do it. Jimmy gets a great run off the corner there. I'm a little surprised by that. Off the bottom, they're neck and neck as they go across the start-finish line. Jimmy going to drive really deep into the corner again, slide up in front, but that's going to open the door for David Farmer as he cuts right in front of Lucas Lyons, who's trying to get his lap back, and goes down to the inside. What a great move by David Farmer, and they're side by side, and they swap positions now. Jimmy Allen going to drive deep into the corner. I mean, he could outdrive anybody in the corner. David Farmer, though, this time with the slide job, and he's going to use Lucas Lyons as a pick. Jimmy cannot do the crossover as Lucas is up there inserting himself into the battle. Jimmy's going to cross in front of the 25. He's going to drive it down in the corner. Oh, that was dangerous. He was four-wheel sliding down into turn number 1. As now Lucas going to go up there and stop Jimmy from being able to use the whole track, and he's going to lose about 2 or 3 car lengths to the 84. As the 25 just trying to get his lap back, and you can see he's going to drive right up next to David Farmer. David going to have to give way. It's interesting to see Lucas drive that hard, knowing that he was the lucky dog. I don't know if he had to insert himself in this battle. He was the lucky dog regardless. But you know, on the flip side though, if he gets his lap back naturally, he doesn't have to start behind any lap cars or at the tail end of the field. So there is a small benefit for that. But Jimmy Allen trying to get something going here as we are on lap 111 of 131. So just 20 laps to go here in this race. Been a pretty amazing race. I mean, this track's so hard to pass that it's not surprising that haven't been that many cautions, or any cautions really, other than the stage break. The cars, I mean, I know that Jimmy Allen has made it look like the car is loose off the corner, but it's only because he's shifting down to third. You know, he could easily not shift down to third, and we saw Tony Iverson drive just fine, staying in 4th gear. So what he's trying to do is account for a tight condition. The car is just too tight off the corner. He wants to help it rotate, so he's shifting down to make that happen. So it's definitely not a loose race car. It definitely seems like it's pretty tight, and it seems to respond the best when you just let it roll. David Farmer takes the top spot, starting to pull away a little bit now as we go back here. I mean, just look at this crazy group of cars that they've been around each other all race long. Is now the 8 going around the 08. Michael Kostic gets to the outside of Daniel Cunningham. See if he can complete that pass. Got a nice little entry here. The 8 does. You should be able to clear him here off the corner. Daniel fights back, but the outside too strong, so move Michael Kostic up into the 6th position. Now Nicholas Hasia gonna put some pressure on that 08 machine as well. Daniel's in trouble if he's burned his tires up here at the end of this run, because I mean, if we look here, I mean, all these cars in line are for position, from Daniel in 7th place all the way back to 12th. So all these cars are for position. So you can't afford to give up any spots. You can't afford to be getting side by side and see Sean Kostritza get a little bit loose off the corner, all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack on the back straightaway. You don't want to open the door because you might end up trying to make a pass for 7th and end up 12th really quickly. Less than 15 laps to go in this race. David Farmer now out to a half a second over Jimmy Allen. And I do apologize about the beginning of this race. Wish I would have known. I could have given y'all time in the scoring a little bit earlier, but glad we have it now. It's been made my job a whole lot easier. Bostic continues to lead this little group of cars. Out front, Jimmy Allen, as now Lucas Lyon has gone back down a lap down after battling hard to get around the leaders, has now fallen back a lap down. So I'm not sure if he had some sort of issue, but right now Jimmy starting to put the pressure back on the 84 machine here. Just a few laps to go. It's down to the inside. Can he make it work? It's going to be tough. But he has been one of the few that's gotten it to work. See, David does a great job off the exit of the corner. And honestly, we saw Jimmy Allen try to defend David earlier in the race, at the beginning of the race. And Jimmy gave up the lead because he was racing so hard off the top of the corner and got loose, and that allowed David Farmer to get around him. All David has to do is just continue to run his race, drive down to the bottom. Even if Jimmy Allen drives deep into the corner, down on the inside, David knows that if he doesn't screw his corner up, he's going to have the advantage off the exit. So, I mean, while it looks like David Farmer is under attack, he's not in really much danger at all. I mean, the only danger is if Jimmy Allen wheel hops it down in the corner and drives right up into the door of that 84. That's about the only thing he's got to be worried about. I just don't think the way these cars, this track handles, I don't think Jimmy's going to be able to pass him on the inside. Lap 120, just 11 laps to go, and we got a battle for the lead here in Bluegrass Xfinity. David Farmer leading, Jimmy Allen in second, James Silvers on an island basically by himself in that 33 car. I know he'd probably love a caution to get up there and maybe battle these guys because he is running very, very similar lap times. He's running a 32.3, which is faster than Jimmy Allen in second place. So going to be some what-ifs for James Silvers, but a third-place finish, still a really great run for that 33 machine. Stay here, focused on the lead as Jimmy Allen continues to just pelt David Farmer over and over again here. Getting down towards the end of this thing, lap 122, coming to 123 out of 131. So less than 10 laps to go here. Oh, Jimmy Allen's going to get a little taste of that wall there. He's going to lose a ton of time going down into turn one. That gap went all the way up to about 0.6 of a second as they entered 1 and 2. But David's starting to pull away now, and Jimmy is going to be in trouble with those tires for a while. Well, back here, checking in on Nicholas Hasia, Jason Iracing. This little group of cars still battling. Nobody really been able to make up much ground here, but at least as far as I can tell. John Kostritza has fallen back to the 11th position. He's got Andy Kurtz right behind him. So I don't see a whole lot of movement here between these guys, but only a few laps to go. What a great race, though. I mean, to only have the one stage break and no other cautions, and we've seen some guys really push the limits of what the cars can do on exit in that third gear. And we saw Alex Penn almost go around, but able to save it after some contact with Tony Iverson. And just a great job by everybody all around as we're on lap 125, just a few laps to go in this race. The gap really hasn't changed much. Jimmy Allen, good bit slower that lap. It made up a little bit of time, but kind of lost it. And usually that's just the case of coming off the corner and just sliding that car, not able to keep the momentum down the straightaway. But I mean, for David Farmer to be right up there in second in points, I mean, he even has one less race, so he's got 26 points back to Alex Penn, and was missing a whole race. So that just shows how strong David Farmer has been this season in Xfinity. And Alex Penn obviously has 5 wins on the season, but I mean, he's had 5 wins for a few weeks now and just hasn't been able to replicate that. And so I think David Farmer is kind of setting himself up as the maybe championship favorite at this point. Of course, next week at Talladega could change everything. That's going to be exciting for sure. All right, lap 128 of 131. David Farmer still with that lead. It is still about a half a second to Jimmy Allen. Jimmy throwing everything but the kitchen sink, trying to run him down. Just going to be tough. Jimmy's going to have to start gaining 2 or 3 tenths a lap to really do anything, and that's just to catch him. We've already seen him have issues passing him, so that's going to even add more to that. As we get some really massive cloud cover here. It's almost dark. But David Farmer, 9 top 5s on the season. That's about it. That's as good as anybody. I think the next driver is Alex Penn with 7, Daniel Cunningham with 7, and Michael Kostick with 7 top 5s. So he has been really, really consistent and does have 2 wins. So Farmer's had a really good season. If he can close out these next couple laps, he'll be able to move on to the next round and not have to worry about Talladega. Going through turn 3 and 4, he's going to take the white flag here. 1 lap to go here in this race. White flag, David Farmer, 0.8 of a second lead. Jimmy Allen going to try something, I'm sure, to make it up, but I don't think there's just really nothing you can do. You hear him, he's just spinning the rear tires, trying to get it to grip up, but those tires are gone. There's no grip in that thing. Down through 3 and 4. Checker flag in hand, and David Farmer is going to win here at New Hampshire. Well, there you have it. There is your winner. So congratulations to David Farmer. We'll note that Jim Ott had something happen. I think he had a speeding penalty on his last stop or something, because he had a 40-second pit stop and just called it quits. So anyway, I think something just terrible happened to Jim, so that was a tough luck for him. But David Farmer going to burn it down on the front straightaway as we'll go through the final running order here at the end of New Hampshire. Jimmy Allen comes home in second. In third is James Silvers. Tony Iverson in fourth. Alex Penn in fifth. Michael Kostick in the sixth position. Daniel Cunningham in seventh. Eighth is Nicholas Hasia. Ninth, Jason Ayerson. 10th, Justin Ray. And 11th, Andy Kurtz. 12th is Sean Kostritza. 13th, Lucas Lyons. 14th, Michael Cole. 15th, Brian Terry. 16th, Bobby Anderson. Jim Ott in the 17th position. Scott Fritz rounding out your field in 18th. Well, there is no post-race show. We are quite a few days in the future. So we're going to call it quits here from V-Speed Racing Network. Thank Bluegrass. Thanks David Farmer for helping me giving me the replay to allow me to get this thing in for them. This will be the last one that I do though, for sure. So hopefully they'll have somebody else next Tuesday night, or we might, I don't know, maybe it won't be the last one. I'll be doing replays. But glad to get this going for them. I know these guys, they race. They want to see their sponsors. They want to see their cars, and they want to go back and watch the races. And so I know that they're glad to have a broadcast. So anyway, all right, well, I'm going to call it quits. David Farmer is your winner here in New Hampshire. Talladega next week. That's going to be a good one. See y'all later.